Welcome back to Snackcast.
Welcome.
So, what do we got on topic today?
We got a really sensitive, sometimes fiery, sometimes emotionally draining topic is mental health. And we are going to talk about a pretty long series. I think it'll be our longest to date on the various topics of mental health. And I know you have some experience in that. I've had a lot of experience in that with family members and friends. And it's a sensitive topic. You know, my disclaimer right out of the gate is we've been around it, but we are certainly no experts.
We're not clinicians or...
we're not experts in it, and we're not desensitizing it. We're not giving a one size, fits all kind of.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair to tell the viewer what you told me, and that we're really kind of angry.
About why mental health is, yeah, and
not mental health generally, but we're going to get into it, right? But it's been exacerbated,
and it was getting bad before this event, right? 2019 wasn't really good for mental health, but it exploded with, as you would agree, COVID, right? You want to just talk about some of the stats? 4 in 10 households have reported mental health issues or suicidal thoughts, and that was up from 1 in 10 in 2019.
Statistically, that is unbelievable growth.
Right.
Increase, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Excessive drinking, up 21%.
Just from the pandemic.
Drug-related deaths, right, up 30%, right? So, again, being sensitive, we understand that grandma was, potentially injured from COVID, and she could have died or did die or some of those other things. As a whole, I think that our medical industry absolutely created a debacle in the government, right? This is twofold.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
that
not
resulted
just...
in mental health issues that was like, all right, these people are okay to ignore. Let's just focus on the viral end of things. And I think that this will go down as one of the biggest debacles in world history. I mean, this is bad, right? So drug-related deaths, talked about that, 30% higher in 2021, up from 2019. 25% increase in anxiety and depression, up from 2019. These are just some of the staggering stats that we're starting to see.
To your point, it was already, maybe... I don't want to say approaching, historic levels, but I think tensions have been high, specifically for the U.S. viewers. If you're into politics at all, tensions have been high. I feel like we seem a little more divided as a country than maybe we have in the past, and maybe I'm just getting old.
No, you're absolutely
into
correct.
My father. I don't know.
We're divided. I'm a celebrity on Instagram.
So I think a lot of external factors, social media, fear of missing out. All of that has played a role, and I think that the pandemic just was the oxygen on the fire.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. So over the course of the next 10 Snackcasts, 10. We're going to talk about
That's like 1/6 of all the Snackcasts we've ever done.
I think it's such an important topic, in talking about the various things and how you can do things to cope, or how you can work with friends and family to cope with some of these issues. I think
we'll try. We got a little opinionated in this first one, but I think for the most part we'll try and check our personal opinions and really try and present evidence and data and theory and coping mechanisms, etc.
But again, going back to the anger level that I have had regarding this, you can't lock people up. You can't keep people at home. You can't keep them from the beach. You can't keep them from the gym. You can't keep them from each other. You can't mask them up, right? You can't take away their job. You can't take away their livelihood and ability to feed their family and not expect this to happen.
Right. Whether you're right, irregardless of which side of the fence a viewer might be,
there was
masking,
collateral. Yes,
there was going to be collateral damage.
Collateral damage,
and it seems like as a society, we turned a blind eye to that.
Oh, and we haven't even gotten into the kids' issues with speech therapy problems and any of that type of stuff.
Behind in education.
Yeah. We raised our education standards or lowered the education standards, because people are not hitting their statistics and their numbers, right? So I'm off the soapbox on that and regarding, but there was enormous collateral damage that not one politician that was out there that was truly defending the human being and what the body is even capable of doing. The body is capable of defending against a lot of illnesses, all by its own. We don't need some of the other treatments.
I thought you were getting off the soapbox.
I am. I'm done.
So let's
talk about how we correct this.
Well, if I may, you have to imagine that doing the job we do, we touch thousands of people. And we hear a lot of stories. And so this isn't just our own personal lives. And, I think that's somewhat where the level of anger comes from, because I think we see maybe a little more firsthand experiences than some people, So, yeah, it is angering. And so anyways, you were going to say.
So we'll talk about, all right, this damage is done and call a spade. We're done with, whose responsibility it is. Our responsibility is to help people get out of this and how we do it. And we'll talk about
discover, treat, cope, realize.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
what are the factors? What are those points of oxygen that make the fire pop? And
I sat on a board of a mental health facility 20 years ago when this was just starting to become, quote unquote, a real thing and a real epidemic in the world. So I have a little bit of insight on this.
I forgot that you did that, but you're right. You have. Yeah, that's pretty. Forgot that.
Doesn't make me an expert. It just makes me a little more opinionated.
Well, again, though, you saw a lot of stuff.
I did.
A lot of experience.
And what turned my eyes open to that was the fact that I thought mental illness was a particular class of people, and the reality was, it was like as soon as I walked in the door, I realized, holy cow, this is the mom next door. This is the dad trying to make a living for his family. This was the brother or the sister that the family, paints a wonderful picture of how the family looks. And in reality, closed doors behind the scenes, it wasn't like that at all. Traumatic issues that are going on. So this is your next door neighbor. This is your brother and your sister and your cousins and your boss and your sister that
could be you.
And that's what we're here for. Let's push forward and let's discuss different options and open this up to, this is a real world issue that we got.
So I think not only will this be our longest series, I think this is our longest single.
Oh geez, episode. We gotta go.
So, the intention of Snackcast is brief, to the point. So anyways, we hope you tune in. We appreciate you viewing. And questions, comments, concerns, email us at snackcast@yes.fit. If you're angry about this episode, email someone else.
Take care. Stay moving.
See ya.